I thought you said this was a one-time drunken mistake that you'd never do again. Now I'm finding out not only would you do it again, you've done it multiple times already. I'm a college senior who's been getting through school on a basketball scholarship, and I currently live with my girlfriend of 2 years. I love her so much, but recently walked in on her doing something that's destroyed the life I knew just a few weeks ago. This is especially terrible because I also love her whole family too. I felt like I was part of it, which was great for me because I have no siblings myself. I don't know my dad, and my mom isn't exactly the greatest parent on the planet. The only person outside of my girlfriend Kiana's family that gave me the same kind of love or feeling of belonging was my childhood friend Daryl and his dad Ben, who was the one that encouraged me to play basketball and would coach me and Daryl when we were kids. On top of playing ball and going to class, I also have a part-time job as a dishwasher at a local restaurant just off campus, so I miss out on a lot of parties, but it's what I have to do to get by. Kiana doesn't have a job though. I pay 100% of the rent for our apartment, and she's lucky enough that her parents pretty much take care of the rest of her living expenses. So she goes to class and goes out partying a lot, and I'm much more busy and have a lot more responsibilities. So a few weeks ago, it was another one of these nights where a party was going on and I knew I would either not get to attend or have to show up late in the night when everyone's already smashed, which I would often do. But it's usually not much fun being at parties when you're the only one sober there, especially if your girlfriend's there already drunk and you have to deal with her wild behavior. This would happen often. I'd get off work and Kiana would be drunk and acting belligerent, and I'd have to deal with her and make sure she makes it home safe or deal with some kind of argument because she has a tendency to start stuff with me when she's drunk and doesn't know what she's doing or talking about. So a few weeks ago, there's a party where a bunch of my teammates and some friends of mine would be, and one of Kiana's friends, Jasmine, knows about the party because she was invited by one of the guys on the team and wants Kiana to go with her. Me and Kiana end up arguing about this because she wants to go to the party, but I don't want her to go because I have to work and I don't want her going without me. I know people will say I'm controlling for this, but you don't know Kiana. If she didn't get so wasted and act a fool when she's drinking or partying, then I wouldn't have such a problem with it. But I don't want her to go and party where a bunch of my friends and teammates will be without me there. I just don't like the idea of it, and don't want her kicking it with my friends because they're my friends and not hers. I wouldn't go to a party that's going to be mostly her friends without her, so I don't want her doing that to me. Plus I know she's going to do something to embarrass me. I tell her there's a ton of parties on campus all the time. Why do you got to go to one where all the people I know and ball with will be? She says, Jasmine invited me and I can go if I want. Just because you have to work isn't my problem, and I want to chill with my friend. The fact that Jasmine's the one inviting her is also a reason why I don't like the idea of it, because I know this girl is a bad influence. She already hooked up with 2 of my teammates, and she's the kind of girl to encourage Kiana to do stuff I wouldn't like. So the day of the party comes, and I'm working when I get a text. It's from one of my boys telling me Kiana's there with Jasmine, lit and acting wild. This is after Kiana told me she wasn't going to go because I told her over and over I didn't approve of it. So it's a slow night at work since it's the middle of winter and not a lot of people are coming in, so my manager says I can leave early. I head out at 10 instead of my usual time, which is around 11:30. I get home as fast as I can, although I have to drive slow because there's a lot of snow on the roads. Then I quickly change out of my work gear, shower, get the smell of restaurant off me, and put on my boots and walk as fast as I can to the party. When I get there, some of the people I know are kind of avoiding me. Some have this look of secondhand embarrassment or shock, knowing some drama is about to go down, and I know Kiana either did something or is about to do something. Then my boy Josh tells me Kiana's upstairs with someone in one of the bedrooms, so I go up and check a couple rooms, but they're either empty or have people in them who aren't Kiana. Then I walk into the room where Kiana is, and when I open the door, the room has almost nothing in it but a bed and like a futon-style couch. And on the couch is Kiana with 2 of my teammates sitting on each side of her, gripping them both and stroking, looking like she's practicing her best ski techniques and making out with one of them while the other is touching her. All I say is, what the F? And I try to pull her away from these guys and push them away from her while they still have their you-know-whats out. but one pulls his shorts up and grabs me while I'm trying to wail on the other. Then as he's holding me back and I'm also trying to get swings on him, the other pulls his pants up and grabs me to stop me and tells me to chill. This is while Kiana's saying she's drunk and tries to claim that they were taking advantage of her. They deny the accusation and she runs out of the room. Then they release me and I go after her to get an explanation. We start yelling at each other in front of a bunch of people in the party, and I tell her we're leaving. I grab her by the arm and guide her out the back door, where a bunch of other people who have no idea what's going on or what just happened are doing keg stands and standing around the back porch, asking me why we're leaving so soon. I just tell them we gotta go, and we continue to argue on the walk home. Once we're alone, she changes her story from the original one where she blames my teammates for what happened and try to pretend she wasn't a willing participant. And now she starts begging me for forgiveness, claiming she was just drunk and that she'll never do anything like that again or would never have done it if she wasn't drinking. I ask her if she wants the couch or the bedroom for the night because I'm taking whichever one she doesn't want and I want to be left alone. But she continues to make excuses, repeatedly apologizing, crying, and begging me to talk to her. Then after a while, when I don't give in to her demands that we talk about what happened and forgive her, she starts to get angry and physical with me and yells at me about how I don't care enough about her and don't make enough time for her because I'm so busy with work and basketball. So I lock myself in the bedroom and put on my noise-canceling headphones and try to sleep while she beats on the door for a while but eventually gives up and passes out. The next day, she continues with her attempts to get me to forgive her. And at one point, she goes in the bedroom and a message pops up on her phone, which is lying on our coffee table. It's one of the guys she was with the night before, making fun of me about what happened and asking if I know about all the other members of the team she's been with. So now, when I thought nothing could possibly make me feel more horrible, heartbroken, and embarrassed than what I already experienced the night before, I'm even more heartbroken and embarrassed, realizing this kind of thing has been happening behind my back often, or at least more than once. And that a majority of my team, if not all of my team, knows about it and is probably laughing at me behind my back, and many of them have been with Kiana in some way. I ask her about the message and tell her I want the truth, and she tries to deny it again. I tell her, I thought you said this was a one-time drunken mistake that you'd never do again. Now I'm finding out not only would you do it again, you've done it multiple times already. She continues lying and saying that she hasn't, and that the guy in the message is the one that's lying. I say, he's lying, in a message to you, asking if I know about any other things that you've done? That makes absolutely no sense. What purpose would he have to lie to you about things you've done if he knew that you know it was a lie and you didn't actually do it? Then she says, I don't know, but he's lying, and tries to say that she loves me and that I have to believe her. But what I've seen is enough for me to know she's not the girl I thought she was, and that I need to get rid of her as soon as possible. So later that day, after getting very little sleep and spending the entire morning fighting, I tell her I want her to move out. She says no and continues with her crying and pleading, but I won't budge until I realize that she has no place to go. Her family is all the way in Chicago, which is nowhere near where we go to school, and she has no way to pay rent anywhere else. Plus, legally I don't think I even can make her leave since she's on the lease agreement, so I tell her we're done. But we agree to live together for 3 more months until the lease ends. And for the past month since this all happened, we've been trying our best to avoid each other. She's stayed a lot of nights at her friend Jasmine's place, and I can only imagine what she's doing over there. Every night that she's not home, I can't get the thought of her being with other guys out of my head. Her family tried to tell me I should forgive her, and that it was just a drunken mistake, but they don't know the details of what happened that night, or what I discovered in that message. They know she cheated on me, but not the extent of it, and I'm sure she tried to play the victim and get them to feel sorry for her and take her side, downplaying the severity of how bad she hurt me. The only one in her family who seems disappointed and ashamed of her actions and willing to hold her accountable is her dad. He's a respectable guy, but the rest are all on her side. I love this girl so much, I just can't believe she could do me like this. And now I have to continue to suffer and face her pretty much daily for another 2 months. As for my relationship with my teammates, I've also been completely humiliated and disrespected by guys I really thought were my boys, guys I've bonded with and thought we had each other's backs. Aside from the 2 I mentioned, I still don't even know how many of my other teammates got with Kiana or how far things went. I couldn't imagine a more embarrassing situation. I went in and told the coach I was done, and he tried to convince me to stay and get over it, but told me if I did decide to stay, he didn't want any of this drama affecting the team. A few of my teammates, who I assume weren't the ones that got with Kiana, also want me to stay because I'm one of the best players. But I can't continue to show up for practice with a group of guys who took turns with my girl and are laughing at me behind my back, especially when I don't even know who or how many it actually was. And to make matters worse, one of the guys I saw that night, I've been friends with since we met back in freshman year. Of all the guys on the team, he was one of the last ones I would have thought would do this kind of thing to me. So even though coach and some of my teammates tried to convince me to stay, my pride just wouldn't allow me to do it. And the real kicker is that because I'm here on an athletic scholarship, they said if I quit the team, then I lose the scholarship too. But I couldn't stay and live through all that humiliation. So now I'm not only off the team and lost some of my best friends and teammates who I thought were my friends, and I can't show my face anymore at parties, but I gotta find a way to pay for the rest of school until I graduate, which I can't afford. And I'm continuing to pay rent for my cheating, selfish, party girl ex-girlfriend, who's living with me but continuing to party with my teammates and other guys while I'm at home too heartbroken and miserable to do anything and constantly haunted by the memory of that night. And this will continue for the next couple of months until the semester ends. If you dig this video, click here to watch another one, click like, leave a comment, and share it. Those things help out the channel and are greatly appreciated. And please leave a 5-star review on any surveys you see in your feed. Thanks for watching and supporting the channel. Hope you all take care of yourselves, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.